What is going on, Trader Gang? Happy Sunday to you guys. We're back at it again with another Sunday market breakdown for you guys. So we are going to, or I'll just tell you through a little recap of last week. So I did another video already for the recap, so you guys can check that out. But just to sum it up, we took two trades last week. We started the $200 account, or started at $196. Literally day one ended up getting it up to $300. And then Wednesday, we're actually done for the week. We got the account up to $500. So that's where we currently stand. Gold has just been super bullish. We did have a huge pullback. So we'll see what gold is going to do going forward. So we're going to take a look at that, break it down. And then we'll take a look at news also, so we're aware of what news is coming this week. So we'll get into it here in a minute, but show some love in the chat if you guys are on. I love that love and participation. If you guys have any questions while I'm going through this breakdown, please don't hesitate to put a comment. And then we'll get into it. I'm just going to do a quick audio check, make sure we're good. All right, looks like we're good. All right, so first we're going to take a look at our news. So let me share my screen real quick. All right, so let's take a look at news really quick. So what do we got going on for this week? So Monday, the 20th. So we're just looking specifically at USD. So anything there. Nothing really for Monday. Tuesday, what do we have? We have yellow folders. So we have FOMC, member Waller speaks, API weekly statistical bulletin. So nothing within the timeframes of our trading. Wednesday, 7:30 a.m. crude oil inventories. Don't really have to worry too much about that. Thursday, existing home sales, 7 a.m. So nothing really going on this week other than, of course, Friday. We do have CPI. So that's going to be a big one to watch out for. So pre-market, definitely got to watch out for that. We're not going to trade pre-market. We're going to just really focus on market open. So 645, we do have to watch out for this because this can cause kind of like a heavy pullback or a wick. So this could, depending on which way we're going, whether long or short, this could stop us out. So we just have to be mindful of that. So Friday is really the only day that we see a lot of red folders. So that's where we have to really pay attention. So but other than that, we're pretty good. So, we're still in a government shutdown. So, of course, if you guys haven't seen what CPI is, so it's a Bureau of Labor Statistics. So it changes the price of goods and services purchased by consumers, excluding food and energy. So the last time, September 11th, we actually forecasted exactly what it was. So it hasn't really moved that much. So what's cool is that we can actually go back to like September 11th. So we can go on our chart here, go back to last month, and kind of see what happened. So that came out again at 5:30 in the morning. So we can look for 5:30 right here. So 5:30, it didn't really do anything. So it wasn't until actually, no, I take that back. This was it. So this is Eastern time. So actually, yeah, it had a huge move up. So this was all CPI right here. So all this. So this is how crazy news can move. So of course it pushed up and then kept ranging, and then of course this was 2 o'clock. So there's probably news again because it basically wicked all the way right here and then pulled back heavy and then literally just dropped. So it kind of came up here and then literally came right back to the same range. So just got to be careful of that because market open was 9:30 right here. So 9:30 opened, price pulled up, and then it ended up pulling back, and then it pulled up heavy. So that long wick was at 2:30, which was 11:30 a.m. So I can go back to news on that day and see, was there anything at 11:30? So yeah, I'd have to go back to that date. So let's see. We'll go back to that date, September. So I'll show you guys on here. So September 11th. So we had CPI, and then 3:30. Yeah, so I'm not too sure. So something happened. So it could have been the federal budget balance because it was actually negative. So that could have shot gold up. So because it was negative on the gold, yeah, that's probably what happened. It was negative on the US dollar, so US Department of Treasury. So that caused gold to push up heavy like that. So more than likely, that's exactly what happened. So that's where that wick happened. So literally, news happened, boom, pulled up, and then literally just dumped, pulled all the way back. So if that's the case, we can see if it'll repeat itself if we do end up bullish. So because we are in a bullish market right now, also. So I mean, we were bullish in September also. So this is where we're at currently. So we got news out of the way. So really, just Friday is what we really have to pay attention for any type of craziness. But we can see here, price reached an all-time high, 43.80, and then literally just kind of tanked. So, and then of course we have a retracement right here. So of course we're starting to make a higher high and higher low right here. So we could continue to retrace back up. So we just have to wait and see if that's the case, because we could still pull up here and then end up pulling back down. So we just have to just kind of look on the higher time frame what's going to happen. So we'll break this down. So of course we had multiple all-time highs this week. So we'll clear these out. So we got a nice clean chart now. So we always go on the weekly. So we can see we just had this huge bullish movement, like crazy. This is the most gold has ever seen. So it's kind of crazy. So what we're going to mark up first is, of course, we're going to mark up our weekly high. So, of course, this all-time high was our weekly high. So this is going to be our previous. So previous weekly high, and it was at 43.80,990. So we're going to keep that just like that. All right, so we got our previous weekly high, and then we have our previous weekly low, which is right here at this wick. So that was at, see if we can get a little bit closer, because we want a little bit more accuracy. So I mean that's pretty close. So I mean, well, we could do 4,000 just to kind of give it an even number. So kind of a nice psychological number. So I don't know if price can pull all the way back that far down. I don't believe so, just because it is super bullish. Even on the weekly right here, it's okay to have a little bit of a pullback because we could fill this up as the week goes along. So copy. All right. So there we go, just nice and clean. We got our previous weekly high, previous weekly low, and then of course we have some other previous areas as well. So I mean, we can go on the 1 hour right here. So we can mark up, we'll go on the daily here. We can actually mark up some areas. So another area we can kind of look at also would be, of course, right here, because we did have some consolidation. So we can kind of mark up this area right here. So this would be around 38, 38, 30, or 300. I don't think price is going to push that far down, to be honest. And then, of course, we have another area right here. So a previous demand zone. So that would be at 37.18, 530. All right. So I'm going to keep it just like that and just keep it clean. I don't think we have to go any further down until we actually break these levels first. So, and then what's cool is we can mark it up, you know. So basically put a rectangle right here. Basically mark this out. Mark out this area as well. And we got another demand zone right here. And then our last one right here. So these are potential areas where price could end up going. So if we do have a heavy pullback. So right now, because we are so bullish, we are still in kind of uncertain times. Even with this doji right here, this doji is kind of like an indecision. So it's not sure whether buyers are going to come in or sellers are going to pull price further down. So we just kind of have to wait and kind of get some more confirmation and clarification. So, but I have been trading on the 30-minute time frame lately. So I mean, just for me, I mean, this is kind of a good sign. So that we had a heavy pullback. We're getting some retracement here. We need price, of course, to continue up. So just from this time frame, kind of creating a path. So of course, we came up, came down, came up. Hopefully, there's some buy orders. So like when market open comes up, we actually push all the way to like maybe here. Might have a little bit of a pullback, and then we end up trying to retest this previous all-time high and continue higher. If we can't break above this, if we respect this supply area, then of course price can continue to push down, or it ends up not respecting this area either. This is a level of demand during support, so or supply. So if it rejects off of here, then we're probably going to have a push down. So what we'd like to see is, of course, this. So, or we could possibly see this price ends up coming here. We end up pushing down to here, making a lower low, then a lower high, lower low, and then pretty much we end up trying to test this previous weekly low if it does decide to go that far down. So we can test this level of demand right here. So we just got to see what it wants to do. So, but you know, what do? We follow the trend. So overall on the weekly time frame, I mean, we're bullish as can be. and because everybody is flocking to gold right now, I personally think it's only going to push the price higher. So just in my opinion. So, because we're so bullish, we have to have a pullback at some point, but let's see if it continues. But I think we can continue to go up, to be honest. So that's just my take on gold. Let's go to US30. So this is the weekly. So we had a heavy pullback on when was this? On Monday. So let's go to daily. So Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Yeah, so we kind of ranged for US30. We didn't really go anywhere. So we had a heavy pullback on Friday, so last Friday, or 2 Fridays ago, and we kind of just ranged. So we're kind of in a range right now. So the US dollar, like US30, is not really doing very much right now. So because here, just from my opinion, we have to see a breakout above this area right here, this previous high, or below it. So otherwise, we're just kind of stuck right now, just consolidated. So let's kind of clean this up. Let's go to the weekly. So we're going to mark up our previous weekly high. So what was that? 47. I'll do 47.50. So 47.50.5. That's a good psychological number. So that was our previous weekly high. All right. Got that. And then actually, that was our all-time high. Excuse me. This was our weekly high. This was last week's high. My apologies. Yeah, that's pretty good. So I take that back. Sorry. So we're looking at more like 46.695. So that's a nice psychological number. All right. So that was the weekly high. Sorry. This is the all-time high. So I'll put that there as well. All-time high, 47.050.5. All right, and then we have our previous weekly low. So this is where price pushed down to. And then we ended up coming all the way up here and then closing where we're at right now, 46.226. So 420, okay. So we'll do 54.420. So this is our previous weekly low. So 45.420. So again, what does the trend look like? So on the weekly, we're bullish right now. So we still have a strong bullish trend, even though we had a pullback here the week prior. We're continuing. We got to look at market structure. So on the higher time frame, what is the market doing? We came up right here, came down, came up, came down, came up, came down, came up, came down, came up, came down, and we're still indecisive right here. We could possibly come up like this. So again, even though it looks a little choppy, as long as the previous high is higher, or the previous high is lower than the next high, that's what we want. So we want to keep making higher highs. So basically, again, we take a trend line. We want a trend line to continue going. So just like that, or even below. So because we can put it right here, we don't want price to break below this. So because I'll put it like this. So even though, because we want to have touch points, obviously, but as long as we're having a solid trend upwards, that's what we want. So I could see price continuing to go up, even though we are kind of in a range right here. We just need to break out above here. So like, of course, if I make this bigger, we need this candle to break above here or below here so we can have some confirmation. So even on the weekly here, we can mark up another level. So let me look at the daily. So we got a nice level right here. So this was a previous low. And then we can mark up another area right here as well. So what is this? 449.38. So let's do 40. And then right here we have 445.68.5. We can keep that. That's fine. Cool. So again, just keep our charts clean. You know, this usually helps you just psychologically also, so you don't have all these indicators and all this stuff on here. So, and then just like we did on gold, we can just kind of mark it up because we can see that price is more likely going to tap into these areas again at some point. So these are just areas of interest. These are just areas that price could potentially push down to. So because US30 is kind of the same thing, even though we're in a range right here, once we push up, you know, who knows where we can go. So if we last were at 47.51, more than likely we could go to, you know, 47, like 250, something like that, 47, 275, you know, just those psychological numbers. So we have another area right here. Cool. Because like when we go in the lower time frame, then you can start seeing where these boxes start tapping into. So you can see we got a mark right here. We got multiple taps right here. We have a tap right here. So this helps us again kind of see where price could go. So because right now we can see even on the lower time frame, you know, on the 1 hour, that we're kind of just ranging. You know, we kind of came up, came down, tapped into this area, almost tried to come up above here. We ended up tapping into here, pulled back, you know, kind of ranged, and then literally rejected, pulled right back to the same area, pulled up. So what could happen is it could probably try to reject again, tap into here, or we could end up trying to retest this previous weekly high and break through it. So, you know, based on, of course, the volume and all that, and of course, how the trend is, I think possibly we could pull back up and break through that all-time high. So that's kind of my insight on US30. So pretty simple. I mean, lately also gold and US30 have kind of moved pretty similarly. They're both bullish overall. So as far as like kind of top-down analysis, you know, we're definitely bullish on both the weekly, the daily, things like that. Of course, on the 1 hour, we're bearish on gold. So because we broke structure right here, so and then we respected this demand zone, and then of course US30 on the 1 hour, we're kind of just ranging. So, but we're still bullish overall. So I think on both of these, we could possibly look for buys going forward. So we just have to see where price is going to respect or reject. So other than that, that's it for the breakdown. So I appreciate you guys popping on. Hopefully this gave you some insight going into this new week of trading. If you guys trade gold, gold's been super bullish. So I think it's just going to continue to make all-time highs. If we can't respect that supply area, that previous all-time high. So, but only time will tell. We need to have just confirmed confirmation of where price wants to go and just follow it. So I will be trading tomorrow morning. So I will be going live on my YouTube like I usually do. So I'm excited to start the new week, continue to grow this account that we have at $500 currently. So our goal is to double that. So we want to try to get to gain another $500 on the week, if not more. But that is the goal going forward. So I will go live tomorrow morning before market open. And of course, if you want to follow me on my Instagram, that's where I put all my my trades, my link also to my YouTube. You can always come back here. I will go live at 6:30 Pacific Standard Time, and we'll get to these markets. So I appreciate you guys. God bless. Do me a favor, like, comment, and subscribe on here. I always want to continue to grow this channel and also share my journey. So if you guys do have any questions, please leave a comment down below. And I'll also leave my IG handle as well, so you guys can follow my journey there as well, and also follow my trades and all that. And let's get to these profits, guys. You guys have a blessed rest of the weekend, and I'll see y'all on the charts. Peace.